I do is look after ththese two computers.
He's speaking the language of the gods.
Yeah, right? It's crazy anyway.
You know what else is speaking language of the gods?
Lianne La Havas.
Vinyl Verdict.
Wow,
Vinyl
what a
Verdict.
great
Wow.
segue.
I'm Jamie.
I'm Plouffe.
Welcome to the podcast where friends get together.
And listening to human music.
No, they just get together.
Oh, okay.
This is my slogan. This is your week.
Okay.
Human music.
Human music.
This week, friends get together. In brackets, and listen to human music.
Okay.
But yeah, this week
subtitles.
we listened to Lianne La Havas' self-titled album.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I really like it.
That's my review. I'll see you guys next week.
This guy's full of beans today. Self-titled album.
This is actually, what, her fourth album?
Yeah, it's surprising.
third.
It's
Oh, okay.
surprisingly
Yeah.
not the debut. Usually
No.
self-titled is debut album.
And it's crazy
Or
because
like
it's a
Led
huge...
Zeppelin, and they're all called Led
yeah.
Zeppelin.
It's
Well, most of them.
also a huge gap. It's like an 8-year gap from her first,
Oh,
5
crazy.
years from her second album, and to this one that was released in 2020.
She takes us on a journey with this album, though.
She does.
Would you like to talk about that?
I was going to, yes.
Okay, cool.
I'm going to actively now.
Okay. I'm glad you're going to do that. I like to talk about how...
In 3.
Okay.
Lianne La Havas, it's funny, this is an episode I had to warn my girlfriend either not to listen to or to give me almost like a hall pass, because I freaking love Lianne La Havas as a person.
Sure.
She is... I just had a crush on her for ages. I actually first discovered her back in 2000 and... It's been like 10 years. I don't know. It's been like 2010, 2011 from the show Later with Jules Holland,
Okay.
which is a great show, and I recommend checking it out. It's like a live music performance show. in
Never
Britain.
watched it.
And I tuned in because Bon Iver was performing, and I was working at Bell at the time.
Wait, is that how you actually pronounce that band?
Bon Iver, yeah.
Man, I've been calling Bon Iver for forever.
Go for it. He probably loves it.
Yeah, Bon Iver.
Yeah.
I didn't even know who you were talking about.
Bon Iver, yeah.
Wow. Okay. Sure.
Bonami.
All right.
Yeah, we have Bon Iver. So I tuned in to watch him.
Sure.
Very good performance also. But she also performed in that episode, and I was like, wow, this is really good. And then a couple years later, I was listening to this YouTube channel, La Blogothèque, which is like live music, but usually like they're walking through the streets of Paris. And Lianne La Havas had one for her song No Room for Doubt. And it was beautiful. It's like her walking through a Parisian. Is that from Paris? Parisian market. And just playing her song on guitar as like this camera follows her. And again, I was just like, oh my God. But yeah, check out La Blogothèque as well. They had like Mac DeMarco,
Cool.
Alt J, The Kooks, a
Cool.
ton of people that like everyone's heard of. But this, Lianne La Havas, is, like I said, her third album. I think it's pretty good. It's a concept album, funnily enough. I don't feel like it's a super crazy concept album, but it goes from beginning to the end. It is a song cycle that depicts the stages of a relationship from early romance to demise to thriving in loneliness and independence. And I picked this up last year. Not a very special story. Went on her website, ordered it. It arrived. And it's a pretty nice...
Double gatefold.
Yeah, so you open it up. The front is just a beautiful picture of Lianne La Havas.
Yeah,
smiling.
the album cover, sure.
Opening it up, just some pictures of her.
Oh, that's nice.
A little provocative.
Ooh.
Yeah. But each side has the songs that are on it and the song credits and everything like that. And on the back is the song listing as well as a thank you for
Us
supporting
made in
her.
Germany, I see.
So this is my biggest complaint about this album.
What?
It's a paper sticker with glue.
No
And
way.
so I went to peel it and it started leaving glue residue and I put it back on because I was like, stupid.
That's the worst.
Why did Germany need the clout so bad?
Yeah.
They had to put this ugly white sticker on it compared to the nice black and purple album.
I like that it's
hate
black and purple on the back,
Mm-hmm.
which is very different from the rest, both the front cover and then the inside
The
as well.
spine
Yeah,
is
it's all
also
black and
purple.
white.
The
Yeah.
oh yeah,
And then, the back is all black and
yeah.
purple with the spine.
It reminds, and I like how the
yellow.
text is like a cool font. It reminds me of like Master of Reality from Black Sabbath.
Yeah, I had that album.
Yeah, it's a great
Maybe
album.
we'll pick that one.
That's like
Yeah, it's
my
like
favorite
standard
Sabbath album.
hippie font on the top of
Yeah.
her name.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
very that like Rubber Soul. Have you ever seen
Oh,
the Beatles
yeah,
Rubber Soul?
yeah,
yeah.
the big letters.
Yeah.
There's a term for that. It's like pop art, or
It's not really pop art, but
I don't know.
There's a term there.
there used to be a store near my house. It was like a convenience store, and it was called Jug City, and it was in that same
Dang.
font.
Jug City. Huh?
So
They
what
got
they-
a lot of jugs there.
Yeah, well, yeah, they sold milk. They sold milk in jugs.
Milk jugs, eh?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. What's in a name, right?
And since we always get to complain,
Big fat milk jug.
since we always get to complain, Mine did come a little damaged.
Sure.
It tried to escape the top. The record left a
Oh,
little
I've had that
circle
happen.
dent in the
Yeah.
top.
Yeah.
But luckily the record was
Because it came all the way from Germany.
It was made there, and this was some cheap packaging
Yeah.
that burst out the top.
It's the worst.
So if you're German out there, be disappointed in the work of your people.
Quality control is subpar.
But yeah,
How would you say the pressing is itself? Is it a good heavyweight vinyl?
Yes, it sounds fantastic.
Oh no, I mean like the actual feeling of the record itself. The
Yes,
actual
it is fantastic.
Okay. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
I wasn't crazy about it. I think she's a really good singer, and I think she's a really good guitar player, and I respect that. And I like soul singers and stuff. But I thought that most of the songs could have been like a minute shorter. There was a lot of repetition, and I really liked it as background music.
Yes.
But the moment I had to actually try and sit down and write notes for each track, I had a lot of trouble focusing.
So Plouffe writes notes. I think Bell writes some notes.
I do. I write a lot of
I
notes.
just do this all from memory.
That's fine, yeah.
But like, yeah, if I had to sit down and write notes, I probably wouldn't have enjoyed it as much, because if I don't like putting a ton of thought into
Sure.
what I'm gonna say to you guys about it's all stream of
Like I
consciousness.
don't dislike it. I think it's fine. And if someone put it on, I'd be like, yeah, this is great. Like
It is great, entertaining music.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like, even it was just on while we were, I don't know, hanging out.
Yeah, it was fine.
It's great.
Yeah,
background
yeah,
music.
yeah.
You're like, oh, this is
Yes.
good. That's about it.
Oh, did you bring that with over when Dan was over my house? No. Okay, that was a different artist that was also a lady.
Begonia. And I'm sure
Begonia.
we will talk about her
Begonia.
at some point.
Yeah,
Cool.
Okay. Anyway, I like the album.
Yeah.
What was I doing last night that I was listening to it? I had some Chinese food and I folded laundry and stuff like that. And I was cleaning up my apartment because my cleaning lady comes today.
Chinese laundry.
No.
The dead silence in the room. We both stared at Plouffe, tried to kick him under the long table.
Yeah. But yeah, like I clean up my apartment on Tuesday evenings because I don't want the cleaning lady to know that I'm
Unclean.
I'm a slob.
Yeah. I do the same thing. I pick up before they show up.
Yeah, like I take the garbage out on
Yeah.
and then Bell and I had stayed late because he finished off his record dividers finally.
Nice.
So, but yeah, I was in a good headspace to listen to that, and I just got that Bluetooth adapter, so I put it on the Spotify, and I played it through my stereo. And previously, I had just listened to it on my headphones. And I have nice headphones. I found that the mix is sort of bass heavy on those, the big speakers I've got in my living room, right? So those speakers have two 8-inch woofers in them. And I had to turn the bass down because the first track specifically has like an overwhelmingly loud like kick.
Yeah, and it starts with it too, like
Yeah.
right away.
Yeah. I
And
like it as an opener.
It started walking the one speaker across the floor.
No
And I was
way,
like- I was
really?
like, ooh.
That's crazy.
Jesus, how loud do you listen to everything?
That one I had it a little loud because I was trying to enjoy it while I was munching on
guess.
stuff.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
I think that is the way to listen to this album, is not with headphones. I
Yeah.
think like if you like some songs, put it on your playlist or whatever.
Ambiently, yeah.
But like having it just on, it's a very rainy day album.
Yes,
It's just like
and
Sure,
it was pouring last
Yeah.
night.
I
Yeah.
actually liked it with headphones, but that's because it was like when it was more of a background thing for me was when I just had it on as
Yeah.
headphones when doing work and stuff.
like if I'm listening to something with headphones on, I'm trying to drill that song into my brain.
I do the opposite.
I'm not trying to listen to something quietly. I find it irritating if it's too quietly.
For me, I do the opposite. I listen to stuff on headphones like relatively quietly, but then I'll.
If I want to listen to something quietly, I'll put it on the stereo.
Yeah, me too.
And
Oh,
it'll just
wow.
be like ambient.
I hear you.
Exactly.
Ambiance.
If I'm having headphones, I'm paying attention to whatever it is.
Yeah,
Dang.
because I've already gone through the motions of.
I'm
listening
like
to
the
music.
total opposite. Yeah.
That's fine. We all listen to music
Yeah,
in different ways.
that's
Yes,
fine.
two
Final
of us may
verdict.
be correct.
Listening to music in different ways.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what dude, save that. That's good. Write that down. The only thing
Jamie,
I
write
forgot
that down. Fuck
is that there is something special about the vinyl. It has an interlude that's not found on any other version.
Oh,
of the
that's
album.
always
Oh
cool.
shit!
Yeah.
Oh, because it's not a clean cut to the either side because of the so like if you were playing it on Spotify, there's like a logical progression, but because you have to flip, there's an interlude. Interesting.
Where's
Is that why
the
it-
Well, I don't
where
know
is
why.
the
Yeah.
interlude? Is that the
It's at the end of side A.
Oh,
Okay.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Then. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think it's a really good place. I'm just going to mention it now because I don't have notes for it later on. But I think it just helps transition it into that second
Yes,
half of the
because the
album.
second half of the album, I'm not sure what the.
Well, hold on a second. Before we talk about it, let's play it one last time.
Yeah, I agree. I think
I
we're
like
getting
it.
into it.
Let's listen to it one last time.
Hey guys, let's listen to it one last time.
One last time.
I'm cutting it right there. I get the last word.
No more hanging around. Oh, no more hanging around. Oh, you're pulling me back and I'm going under. A little peace, a little love, a little bliss. Is that enough? I can't fight away this love. Yeah. Hit the bottom and escape. Home. If you need me, I'll be home. When I'm hot, when I'm blue, I'm not crying over you. When I cry, now I'm free. It's over. It's on me. All I need.
What an album.
Yes.
I like this.
Okay.
I have the same opinion that I had about an hour ago. It is a long album. It's only 10 tracks, but they're
49
each
48
minutes.
minutes.
but they're each like around 5 minutes average. There's a couple that are 3.5 or so, and there's a couple that are like 5:45 or 6. But for the most part, yeah, they're like 5-minute songs.
Yeah, 49 minutes because the interlude pushes it over. Because I was like,
Oh,
Spotify
yeah.
said 48. I'm like, but she wrote 49 on the back. I'm like, oh, yeah,
Yeah.
because of the extension. But I think it is a very good start to the album with Bittersweet. With that
I
kick.
agree. Yeah,
Fuck.
It is powerful.
Relentless.
It's slow, but it's a really good showcase of the power she has because
Sure.
it starts real slow and then
Sure.
it's yelling by the
I like
end.
her voice.
It's good.
I think her voice is very powerful. She reminds me of some other, a lot. Not some other
like soul singers.
yeah.
Women.
Well,
Women.
So I'm a really big Erykah Badu fan.
Sure. I like
And
Erykah
the
Badu.
first thing that this album does to me when I sit down and actively listen to it is I'm like, I just want to go listen to Erykah. It's like Lianne is really good, don't get me wrong, but I don't know, it's like I've already found that love for that soul singer that just caught my heart, and that's what I want to listen to now. I think that's part of it.
And I think part of the reason why I like this so much is because I first started listening to Lianne La Havas like regularly. It's when I first moved to Vancouver.
Oh,
So it's
yeah.
like walking.
Fond
I live
memories.
downtown.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
walking through the blue of the city skyscrapers,
Yeah.
the rain and clouds, which again fits this album. A lot of it is
Yeah.
very
Yep.
slow, welling things up inside of her and trying to bring that emotion out into you.
Absolutely. Yeah. I thought one thing that I really liked about it is that she's very good at telling a story, and
Yeah.
that's sort of like
I like
other-
the lyrics overall.
Sure.
And a lot of them are minimal. Like, a lot of them, there's not a huge variety of lyrics too.
Yeah, I think the choruses repeat a little. I mean, they only repeat once or twice usually on each song, which isn't
But her
uncommon.
chorus is bop. Some songs
They
I don't
do and
like,
they
and
don't.
the chorus,
They-
I'm like, yeah,
they,
this chorus.
They do and they don't. Some of them, like Weird Fishes or whatever, I f***ing hate that song. I didn't like it at all.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you like the Radiohead version?
No, I didn't even know it was a Radiohead
Oh
thing.
my god! Okay,
I
we'll
don't
get
listen
there.
to
We'll get there
Radiohead.
eventually, but
I don't like the Radiohead version. I like this version.
yeah. But I do also enjoy the pacing of this album.
Sure.
I don't find there's any huge spikes, and
No.
some of it's because there
Pretty
aren't
steady.
any huge
a lot
songs.
of the
but
a lot
it
of the
does build
songs
up.
are very samey sounding, but in
Yeah.
a way that doesn't make it jarring when it switches tracks, and some of them flow together quite nicely.
Yeah.
especially if you're listening to them on a stereo. Where and the setting I run on Spotify is consistent volume across all tracks.
Okay,
with,
nice.
Crossfading between
Yeah,
them.
that's great.
And that's more like listening to it on an LP than it is on your computer. So I run like 4 seconds of crossfading so that the next track is already sort of playing by the time I get done the
See, it's
previous
funny.
one.
I actually wrote for the second song, "Read My Mind." I feel like this. I don't like when songs bleed together, but I feel like this one would have been really good because it's like a similar pace, but it
Yeah.
does change up a bit.
Yeah.
And then the follow up in lyrics and stuff in tone is really good. that I'm like, man, this would be a really good one to have be a continuous flow into the next song.
I wrote that it seems like a just more upbeat bittersweet.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It is.
I agree.
But I enjoyed that.
Sure.
That is actually what I liked about it.
Yeah, right? Jamie and I on the same wavelength again.
I wasn't super big on Green Papaya.
That's a little cheesy.
I think that's when it wasn't just the cheesiness, it was also the minimalist on the backing music on it. It's really not, there's not a whole lot going on in that one. And for me, with like lounge and soul singers, I want a really strong backing band and backup singers. And I didn't feel it on Green Papaya, and it just kind of turned me off.
I like it.
You really like Green Papaya?
Because like that chorus
Yeah.
is very short. It's like 3 lines,
Yeah.
but it repeats a lot. For like
I hate that.
No, I love it. It gets you into it. It starts to speed up a little bit. It picks up, and I'm like, I like this.
I
I can see
literally
why you don't.
wrote choruses simple and repeated
Yeah.
too much.
And I can see why you don't like it, but for me,
Sure.
it's like, oh yeah, I start to
Yeah.
bob my head a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah, that's
Like,
fine.
That's real love. Like, yeah, okay. But I can see and understand. Like I said, I even
Yeah.
wrote down it's a bit cheesy, but I like it.
I
Sure,
was
it's fine.
head bobbing along to that while I was eating my Mugu Gai pan.
Hey, nice.
Whoa,
Love some
what's
mugu.
I think it's sweet and sour pork.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Sweet and sour pork. Oh, I miss it.
It's delicious.
I liked Can't Fight.
Yeah, it's one of my go-to
Yeah,
summer songs.
I thought the backing
Yeah.
track was really
That's
great.
yeah,
All the
that's
music
one that
on
gets,
it.
That one gets louder as the song goes on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And a good amount of-
She's like again yelling.
Yeah,
by the end.
yeah. That song's really good on the stereo. Yeah.
Around 1 minute and 30 seconds, they cut the backup track, and she just sings for a little bit, and then they drop it back in. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
that was
so
great.
very powerful.
Yeah, I
very
was like,
powerful.
that was
Yeah.
great.
I was trying to think of
Yeah.
the name of the song that I was just like, yeah, wait, was it Can't Fight? Yeah, it's just like the one that's just like it gets progressively louder as the song goes on. That's interesting. I like
Yeah.
that.
But again, it has a problem of the chorus repeats a lot.
Yeah.
That
That was
if this one's okay because it does change.
Yeah, I
with
didn't
the
mind.
band, but it does. It's like I can't fight away. It's love. It's like
yeah.
that's the song.
Yeah.
So I didn't listen to this album right away when I got home. I put on another album before that, and it was a Sam Cooke album. And
Sure.
Sam Cooke is another soul singer, and his lyrics, or maybe not his lyrics, but his voice is very powerful in a lot of his songs, and like he does like a lot of like drawn out. Now he's been dead for a long time, but you could see some perhaps not
Parallels?
inspiration, but parallels in the way Lianne La Havas sings, and like some of the way that older soul singers.
Yeah, she
do.
reminds me of Erica.
Sure, or
I mean,
like
she's not even that old,
like
but
a
still.
Aretha Franklin.
Yeah,
maybe?
she reminds me of Aretha a little bit.
Sure.
Yeah.
Or like a Diana Ross.
Part of that, though, is why I didn't like it as much was because I didn't feel like she brought a whole lot of new to the genre. And I've listened to a lot of like Aretha and
Sure.
Erica, and so I was like, okay, this is neat. But I didn't. One problem was I didn't like. She's a really good singer, but she doesn't do a ton of like crazy range stuff. She has a few times where she like goes around a little bit, but it's never.
Yeah.
It's very samey.
Yes.
Which is fine. She's a beautiful voice, but she doesn't do anything too crazy at any point.
You're saying she doesn't take any risks with. The
Yeah,
okay.
that's pretty. Yeah,
That's
That's
fair. There's
fine.
not a whole lot that's sustained for even the
Yeah.
longest parts, whatever like that. And even what does, it kind of wavers a little bit.
yeah.
Having said that, like I didn't think I needed like a Mariah Carey where
No.
she was holding the fucking note for like 5 minutes, and you're just like, give it a rest.
Totally,
lady." Like,
totally.
You know, like one of those.
Yeah.
It was very much like maybe like early Destiny's Child. You know,
Yeah.
Have you ever listened to some of the original?
I haven't listened
stuff?
to any of the people you said.
One
so
of
far.
my.
Which maybe is why I like it because I'm like I don't
no,
listen to Aretha
maybe.
Franklin
I think
or
she's
Erica
basically
or-
like
Destiny's Child, the one
your
with the
generation's like soul singer
Beyonce?
kind of thing.
Yeah, like the only person I can even remotely relate it to is Amy Winehouse.
Sure.
Yeah, it
I mean,
reminded.
it's different.
Yeah,
It's
But
different
that's
than
the
anyone.
only parallel I have. Sorry. So like I enjoyed it, and again, it's the pacing and the story where you can feel it in the music. Because again, after Can't Fight is Paper Thin, which is like the start of the unraveling of this relationship.
Yeah.
it gets darker again.
don't like
It's like
Paper Thin.
please don't leave. It slows down a lot.
I thought this one was very forgettable.
yeah.
As soon as it came on, my mind wandered constantly. I had to listen to this one like 3 times to actually write anything down, and then I still didn't even write anything down. I even wrote like 3 listens in a row and like nothing. I don't know. This one just didn't do it for me.
It feels like the ramble of like a jazz show, just like
Sure.
a slow point where they're just talking and playing music.
Yeah.
It's just like a simple guitar, a simple drum. her
as
singing.
as background. I think it's good. I think it's great.
Yeah, and that's So I've listened to this album maybe 4 times all the way through, and every time I've listened to it, except for the one time I listened to it on my headphones, it was just as something that was on while I was like, like washing dishes or something like that. Or as Dan put it, washing my fork and washing my dish because I live alone.
Single person
You
dishes.
do not.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I did enjoy it. But we get the interlude, which is whatever. It's fine.
Yeah, I haven't heard this interlude.
I like that it's odd because it's like kind of like just voices and random
Sure.
vocalizing.
Yeah.
But then it goes into Weird Fishes, which is an odd song in itself.
Yeah.
It's a cover of Radiohead's Weird Fishes / Arpeggio, which I really liked that song. So I was like, oh, interesting. There's a cover by Lianne La Havas. I think this is better than the Radiohead version by far and is one of my favorite songs
The Radiohead version is weird.
in general.
I'm not a Radiohead fan. I've never listened to them much past like Creep, really. Nothing,
This is one of their more
against
popular songs.
nothing
Fake
against
plastic
them.
trees.
I don't even know what that song.
It's off their next.
Oh,
the
okay,
album
sure,
after
yeah.
Creep.
So I didn't even know this was a cover. I thought the beginning and the middle were okay, but then as soon as it gets into that like repetition
Oh, dude,
for
I
like a
love
while,
that.
I'm just hate. I'm like, hurry up, get to the end,
Oh
and
man,
then the
I'm
end of the
head
track.
bobbing. I'm
I
like
didn't
rocking
dig it at
out because
all.
it's just like
Okay.
hit the bottom and escape, and it's like yeah.
This is a better version of Weird Fishes. I still don't like the song.
Fair.
But but I don't think I like a lot. Whoa, jeez, hit puberty there. I don't think I like a lot of things that Tom York is and Radiohead have put out.
Oh,
in a long
really?
time. I got a kick out of reading a story about Radiohead recently, where the keyboard player was just like, I didn't know how to play keyboards when I
Hell
joined
yeah.
Radiohead. I had always had it turned off, and Tom York once was just like, I can't really tell what you're doing, but I really like. I think you're like really meshing really well. And it's like after he said that, I learned how to play every night,
Oh my god.
and so I was able to play keyboards.
And you know what? There are real instruments on this played by real people.
Yeah.
You
'Cause
got
this is actually, I believe, this is a live recording, like just them in a room playing the song kind of thing.
And she
which is
plays the
very Radiohead.
guitar too.
Oh, yeah.
Like she is a good guitarist.
I love it. I loved the Radiohead one though, and I just thought this was way better because her power in that.
Sure.
that
Yeah.
She's a better
that
singer.
ending is just like so good. So when I go back to the Radiohead one, he's just like at the bottom. I'm like, that's so lame versus like her power behind it.
Yeah,
But again,
she had
the
a different
tone makes sense.
interpretation. Yeah,
Yeah, and it makes sense with this, like, again, the rock bottom of being out of a relationship. You can't do anything without them, blah, blah. It's like, how does a cover fit into this concept? A
But it
quote-unquote
does.
concept.
It does.
So perfectly. But if you don't like Radiohead, you're not going to like this.
Yeah.
If you don't like, again, that huge shift, it makes sense. But
Yeah.
for me, it just hits.
I liked Please Don't Make Me Cry. I feel like this whole album, it's like didn't like for the most part. It's like every other track I just wasn't crazy about.
Yeah.
But I thought this one was good. It's got really engaging vocals and backing track. I don't know. I don't have much else to say about it. I as soon as this came on after Weird Fishes, I was like, okay, I'm back.
Yeah.
Like I like this still.
Yeah, I like her little, like, up and down. that
Yeah.
She does through Please
Do
Don't
you
Make
ever
Me
think
Cry.
it's weird that Plouffe often doesn't like either or like is indifferent about both of our albums, but we have like a strange like visceral reaction to everything he's
I'm
ever
not always
chosen?
indifferent. I liked the other one, the last one you did.
What was the last one I did?
The Supertramp one.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
I
who
liked
doesn't?
Supertramp, and I liked Slide too.
yeah. No.
Yeah.
But like, what was that one album that you were?
I wasn't crazy about Tommy. Well, I mean, it wasn't Tommy. It was
Lot of
Yeah,
yeah,
And-
and
No one liked that now.
no,
and I
no one
didn't
likes
like the Now Now.
Yeah.
So it's only been like
What was
one
the other
album.
one, though?
This
Wasn't
one's
there
indifferent.
another one?
I don't know. I liked Alex's record too.
Oh, Alex,
And you liked your own records.
Oh,
I like my own ones
oh,
because I
um,
choose them.
I went to buy you guys a copy of
Oh,
Chuck Mangione.
Mangione.
So apparently they still have 2 copies somewhere, but they could not find the other 2.
Those sons of bitches.
So I got my copy.
all
'cause
right, that's
I
fair,
put in an
Jamie.
order of
Take yours
3.
first. Take yours
I
first.
put
That's
I
fair.
put in the order for 3, but they could
Yeah.
only find the one. But they said they would call me if they could find them.
Okay.
But you guys, you could look
Yeah.
too.
But yeah, I liked one of each of your guys' album. I'm not trying to be spiteful or anything.
No,
like
no,
that.
no, no, no,
No.
no. Just
Yeah.
we just think it's. I just found it curious.
Oh, how
Yeah.
I'm like indifferent. You're like, I hate this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fine. I'll choose something. I think we'll get to it later, but I think I guess we'll get to it next week. But I think my next pick, you guys will like. But hey, I thought the other ones would
No,
you'd
no,
like
no.
too.
2 weeks from now.
Well, I know. I mean, like
Yeah.
next time,
Yeah, yeah.
I will tell you about my next. pick.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And right now, I'll tell you about the next song,
Hell
7
yeah.
Times, which is probably my least favorite song on the album. It's just
I didn't hate it.
repetitive.
It's just fine.
Just there.
Yeah.
I really like the guitar on this one though.
Yeah. That was what I was going to say. The rhythm on it is actually
Yeah,
quite
the
nice.
drums switches up. And
I have like
everything
no other notes, but I really liked the guitar
Yeah.
on that one.
My
Yeah,
note
it's-
is all night, all day, all night, all day, all night, all day. Because it's just like the only words just over and over
Yeah.
again.
I
Yeah,
found
didn't
the critical reaction to this. So I read a couple of reviews that came out around the time the album came out for it. I think there was one in the NME, and then there was one on Pitchfork. I read, and I think the Village Voice wrote an article about it. And I read all three of them, and I was surprised that not surprised. I was glad that the reviews were very positive about it.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think Pitchfork is the most negative one
Yeah.
I found, and it's still positive.
Yeah, it's positive, but it's negative in a Pitchforky way.
Yeah.
Because Pitchfork just hates music.
Yeah,
They
everything
won't-
else though is like 4 or 5 stars.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
one award.
Rolling Stone.
I checked
yeah.
it out too because
Except
I was
for a Grammy
concerned
or something like that, or British Music Award or something.
Yeah, I think it won a British Music Award.
I wondered if I was just crazy, and it turns out I kind of am. Because I don't know. It
I mean,
reviewed
like,
well.
there's all kinds of albums that, like, Lizzo won an award.
Yeah,
I fucking
and
hate
I'm not
Lizzo.
crazy about Lizzo.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, even my albums, like you guys don't like them, but they reviewed okay. Like not
Sure.
amazingly, but they got like 3.5 or
like
4 stars.
The nice thing about music is that there's a genre and a style
Yeah.
and an artist for just about everyone.
It's like keyboards.
Like Space Wave.
Sure.
There you go.
Space Wave. Space Wave.
Hell yeah.
What was I gonna say about
I don't
this?
know. Goes into courage. You got anything else to say about 7 Times?
No, I did find it interesting that one of the album recording locations was Bath in England.
They recorded a
she's-
few
she's from
places.
Britain.
yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, she's English, and they recorded in like multiple studios, like California
New
and
York. Yeah.
New York. Yeah,
I remember studying Bath when I was in university because
cool.
its main attraction is the Roman bath
Yeah,
in Bath.
that sounds about right.
Yeah. It's like the only reason the town exists anymore is because there was a Roman bath there and it had a fresh source of water.
Thank you, Caesar or Caesar, rather.
I think it was the Emperor Hadrian, but I can't.
You know, I think since this was recorded everywhere, because she's British,
Yes.
her dad is
Jamaican, right?
Greek, and her mom is Jamaican.
That's it, yeah.
It's a very multicultural person.
Yeah,
Recorded in multiple locations. But yeah, Courage was a good song. Another good rainy day song. It's just dreamy guitar and singing.
I said it's slow.
solemn.
It's slow and kind of boring, but I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is good for like a rainy
I wouldn't
day.
be like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna listen to Courage right now. But if it came on, I'd be like,
I'd
sure.
be fine with it. Yeah,
And then it ends with Sour Flower.
I hate the title.
It rhymes.
I know it right.
It's a good one though. I'm not a huge fan of the song. I love the chorus.
I did like this one. It's a really slow build up that takes a while, but I like when it gets there and picks up, and then adding.
It's a long ender.
Yeah, it is.
It's
It's like
almost
6
7
minutes or
minutes,
something. Yeah, and then but I really like the snare that they add in about like halfway through or 2 minutes in or something like that. I find
Yeah,
that
2
really.
minutes is when it really picks up.
Yeah, they add this snare drum, and it's like, yeah, okay, this is cool. I like what they're doing here.
It was a good one.
I liked it.
Yeah. I don't know. What did you guys not like about the album? Because I know you liked it overall generally, but what are some things that you didn't like about it? Or what's your least favorite track?
Well, probably what was it? What was the fishes?
Weird
Weird
Fishes.
Weird fishes. Thank you.
Yeah.
I almost said dead fishes. That's something else. I didn't. The pacing could have been a little bit more brisk in certain places.
I think a minute
It
off.
needs another Can't Fight. It needs another.
Sure.
it needs.
upper beat
Yeah,
song.
it needs a song that is faster in tempo. You're right.
Especially when it's
Yeah.
like a story about love and then demise. Like
Yeah.
the love one should have a little bit more of an up.
Yeah.
instead of
Yeah,
just
it
like-
should feel
I
less
agree.
melancholy than the rest of the album. You're right. But no, I didn't. I don't think there's a song on the album that I aggressively didn't like. I think there was a. Yeah, I think the pacing was probably its biggest issue.
I think if you cut a minute off each track, this album would be a lot better.
Sure, you're
'Cause
saying
it-
she needed an editor.
Maybe.
No,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hot take.
Yeah. They're long tracks in today's day of like
Yeah,
three,
most are
three
around 4
minutes.
Yeah, but think about how long a CD is. A CD
Yeah.
can hold up to 74 minutes of music.
I
it
hear
barely,
you.
It barely fills a CD.
I hear you, but I don't know. Every track just kind of dragged on for me, just a little too long.
It's interesting because we went from an era of like radio friendly unit shifters, so a song that's less than 3 minutes long,
Yeah.
and then we started getting into longer songs. So that was like when we started getting into stuff called like album oriented rock stations, where they were playing like Stairway to Heaven,
Yeah.
which is a 7-minute song, and it never had a single where it was edited down, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we started getting back in the late 80s and the early 90s into songs that were between 2 and 3 minutes that would shift units, like anything the Backstreet Boys put out or the Spice Girls.
That's like
put out.
90s, late 90s into 2000s.
Yeah,
but
or like in the 80s it would have been like
Van
In
Halen.
Excess or
Yeah.
something like that, or
Even
the New Kids on the Block or
Yeah.
whatever. Like boy band or girl band, or like even the Pretenders like had songs that were between 2 and 3 minutes long at certain points, and a lot of them shifted units.
Yeah.
But now we're getting back into this thing where like people don't have an attention span for songs that are like any more than 3.5 minutes long.
It's weird. I love stoner rock, long 5-10 minute songs. There was just something about the tracks on this one that I thought they should have been
like
shorter.
the Beatles figured it out in the 60s. Like if you write a song that's between 2 and 2.5 minutes long, people will buy it.
Yeah, it's true.
Like look how long Love Me Do is. It's like 2.5 minutes long.
It's like 10 words.
I mean, good, because I was going to say every Beatles song is like 3 sentences.
Totally.
Yeah,
totally.
except for like
there's some good ones.
Early Beatles songs are like that. And
well,
then
a lot of early Beatles songs are basically just rock songs that they stole from
other artists,
like
black artists,
mostly black artists.
predominantly. Yes. And then it isn't until you get to songs like No Reply, which is basically like this album condensed into 2.5 minutes, where it's like a guy goes to a girl's door, she doesn't answer the door, and he feels rejected about it.
Yeah.
And that's the entire song.
Yeah.
But it actually tells a story other than it's just like, can I hold your hand? Is it okay if I do that?
I want to hold you.
Yeah, like it's like
repeat that 5 times.
Their previous songs were all like bullshit like that, and then they came out with that song, and people were like, "Oh, the Beatles are actually almost a legitimate group then."
Yeah,
because Bob Dylan had been putting out songs about like that sound like nonsense, but people really like.
They went from being like the girl craze to everyone respects them. At that point.
And then they became like legitimate artists, and like I'm not gonna draw twe many parallels between the Beatles and Lianne La Havas.
Oh, they're very different.
Yeah,
very different.
But like we were saying, like maybe if some of the songs were between 2.5 and 3 minutes
Would've
long,
kept my
instead of
attention a bit more.
4.5 minutes long or something like that.
I disagree. I like the length.
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
I think just because of the style of record, it doesn't need to be short.
Sure.
You're not going to be selling melancholic songs on the radio. So like, why be short instead of just being longer? If they were like Can't Fight is one of the shortest ones.
Yep.
It's also one of the most sellable songs.
Yeah.
So like it makes sense for those ones to be. But
what were the singles? I think Bittersweet and another one was the
Bittersweet
single.
was, I don't remember, to be honest.
That's okay.
Can't Fight, Weird Fishes.
Yeah.
Bittersweet. So like the hit songs, even when you look at the record listing, usually are the shorter ones.
Yeah.
Other than Paper Thin, which is the most popular, which is 5 minutes long.
Yeah, you don't really see a lot of really long singles these days.
No. That's because they're meant for radio play, and so they're meant for like 3.5 minutes.
Yeah.
But for this style album, I did not mind it being longer songs. I don't feel like there's any song where I was like checking my watch to see how much longer it was playing. And my favorite song was Weird Fishes. My least favorite was 7 Times. Just like the repetitiveness of 7 times is a bit much.
It's a bit too much.
But obviously, I chose it because I do very much enjoy this album. Strong female singers.
How much would you say you enjoy this album out of a rating?
My final verdict.
Ooh.
Wow. He's going to do it.
That was a transition. Did you like my transition?
It was a great transition, Jamie. He's going to do it.
So I love this album, but you need to want something relaxing. It has one of my favorite songs of all times on it, but realistically, it's a rainy day indoors album or just background music. She's really good at choruses. Lots of songs are a little slow. Then the chorus comes up and knocks it out of the park for me. I love the vibes, beautiful voice, and it matches perfectly with the jazzy tones of each song.
Sure.
But I find it very hard to rate. I took a
Interesting.
long time, and I was even
Really?
changing it while we were sitting here because I didn't know whether to put it above or below Crime of the Century by Supertramp.
Crazy.
I was like, is this
Crazy.
the number 2 spot or is this the number 3 spot.
Dang.
Oh.
What's your number 1 spot? Slide?
Slide by George
Yeah.
Clinton.
Okay.
So I was
and
like,
then-
where's
and
it going to
then-
go?
And then you're thinking, like, where does it fit between Supertramp?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because I really like Supertramp.
Yeah.
Would I listen to it with other people? No.
Really?
Would you
I would
listen
put
to
this on in a group setting. I'd be like, yeah,
Supertramp?
I'll put this on.
Oh,
Both
oh,
of them.
yeah,
I'd put on
sure.
both of them.
Supertramp, for me, I would listen to it on my own. I don't think I'd listen with others.
Oh,
okay.
that's
I
fair.
think I would listen to this one with either other people or by myself.
All right.
'Cause,
So I'd give it the same score I gave Supertramp.
Okay.
But I would put it above Supertramp.
Ah.
So I'd give it a 10 out of
Interesting.
13. But it would be second place because if I'm going to grab a record,
yeah.
I would grab this over Crown
Fair.
of the Century, but barely. Like I
Right.
would be like, can't I grab both?
Oh, you're that meme where the guy doesn't know which button.
Yeah,
to
the
push.
sweaty
Yeah,
guy.
the sweaty
I am
guy.
a sweaty man
Love it.
Yeah.
looking at Supertramp
Oh,
and Weird
what
Fishes,
button?
or in Lianne La Havas. But because of Weird Fishes especially,
Yeah.
I have to take this. Like for me, that is the
Interesting.
song.
Yeah, the song we
Interesting.
don't like.
Yeah. There we go. Jamie and I don't agree on everything. It's
Yeah,
proof.
no,
fair.
it's true. It's true.
What are your thoughts, Jamie?
My vinyl verdict. Do you remember when Dan came over and he's just like, "This is the album I used to play at parties, but I stopped playing at parties because it made it sound like I wanted to kill
Wow,
myself."
when did this happen? I wasn't invited.
You were busy that
Awkward.
night. We offered you to come
Wow.
over and you didn't.
Classic
Wow.
Plouffe. We invite Plouffe, and then he goes, "No."
This was last week.
busy. I had COVID last week.
Oh, that's why you were busy.
That's fine. Then.
busy dying.
I forgive you.
Get busy living or get
It's
busy
okay.
dying. You got busy dying.
I like to be invited, but I don't always want to go to the party.
I feel that.
Oh,
on
f-
a
it's like that
spiritual
Tim
level.
and Eric sketch.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, what do you like? I like to come over. I like to be invited.
I love Tim and Eric. What's your final verdict, Jamie?
Back to business.
Well, I'm gonna give it like a 9.5, which I think is very similar to my out of my 13. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. I would put it on. I would not listen to it in a group setting. I would have, like, if I was having a nice evening and I just needed some background music.
If you're having a lady over,
Yeah, sure.
getting a nice dinner, fire up.
Yeah, I'll put that on. Usually I put on like a Stevie Wonder album or something like that. But,
Sure.
Like I have like Marvin Gaye's like "What's Going On,"
Oh, that's a good. Yeah,
which is a great song.
nice.
Like it's and it has like nice melodies and stuff on that. Or I put on like some soul music or something
Man,
like
I
that.
need some Marvin Gaye records.
Me
Dude.
too. They sell it fast still. I just keep trying to get what's
Really?
going on.
It's 'cause he's
so-
good.
What's
man.
going on is an amazing,
crazy good.
album. If I had to rate this with what's going on, I don't know, but
Luckily, you don't.
I don't. And my final verdict is, I don't know, pick it up. It's not bad.
Oh, I don't know actually how much
I
this
like it.
is.
Yeah, how much did you pay for it? That's actually.
I want to say $27.99.
$27.99. Do you have any guesses?
I mean, I'm guessing like 25 euro.
No,
So like 30 Canadian.
I was gonna say $34 is what.
Oh,
it is.
okay.
Okay, I was
Yeah.
gonna say that's.
But that's with free next door shipping, next
Fair.
day shipping.
That's not bad,
Oh, shit,
actually.
what did
Yeah,
I
that's
order
actually
today?
really not
Whoa,
bad.
her others are more expensive.
Really?
Blood, which is their second
think they're
album,
out
goes
of
for
print.
60
I think they're out of print. That's fine.
probably.
Yeah.
Sorry to kind of interrupt,
That's
but
okay.
what side did you guys prefer from the
Side
first
B.
starting with Bittersweet and ending with Paper?
Side B.
I'm really torn because I think I like more songs from side B, but I think the songs on side A that I liked more.
Interesting. Side B starts with Weird Fishes.
Yeah,
So I'm
I
surprised
hated Weird
both of you.
Fishes. Yeah.
Yeah, but the
Prefer
rest of
side
the.
But the rest of side B is
rest of
good.
Side B is good.
Like
yeah.
I liked Please Don't Make Me Cry. I liked
It is very good.
I liked Seven
I
Times.
aggressively hate Weird Fishes. it's not for me.
I liked
like it's
Courage.
listenable.
I didn't like Weird Fishes at all. I really don't like
I
them.
actually thought
Wow.
both sides were pretty well balanced for
Fair, yeah.
like enjoyable songs because
Yeah.
like again you get Bittersweet and Can't Fight on that first
Yep.
side. For me, I get Weird Fishes, Courage, and Sour Flower.
If there was like, if I was like an A&R guy trying to find the single from this album, I would probably find the singles on the first side.
I agree.
I agree.
Yeah.
and I think,
that's a good way
literally
to put
all
it.
of them, other than Weird Fishes, which starts side B, is side A.
Yeah.
But if I was going to listen, and this is actually true of the next album we're going to talk about.
Hold on.
My
Yeah,
album.
he hasn't
I
done
haven't
Not
given
gonna
my
talk about
vinyl
it.
verdict yet.
I know.
Oh my
but
god,
anyway,
he is
That's
full of beans
okay.
today.
That's
That's all
okay,
right.
Jamie. You're just raring to go. It's all right.
It's about like, yeah, I don't know.
I'm switching 100% to an out of 10 scale because I can't do out of 13. It f***s me up.
13 is a bullshit.
We have
scale that
three
I
different
invented.
scales now.
I
We have
can't
Top
do
Gear,
it.
We have 13.
I
we have
can't
10.
do it. I'm doing out of 10. Just the classic. I'd give it like a 6 out of 10. I think.
Damn.
It's not. It's not.
Yo, where is it on the Richter scale though?
I don't.
Because that first album, the first song in that album really shakes.
It does.
I do like Bittersweet. I think it's a good opener. I like the album overall, and here's the funny thing about the whole like length thing. I only didn't like the length when I was actively listening to it. Whenever it was background music, I was like, "This is fine."
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, it takes up time.
So if you had to define what's a 1, what's a 10, what's a 5?
Yeah.
What would you define those kind
But
of?
now,
Baduism is like a 10.
I don't know what that means.
I know,
but
it's-
like emotion, like I am going to listen to this every day as a 10, or is it like I just like this? Like what?
A 10 is a song that is an album that I will make into a CD and play in my car all the time until I get sick of it.
Can you still make things into CDs?
Hell
what do you
yeah,
have
you
that
can.
has a CD drive?
I got a stack of CDs there.
I don't even have anything that plays Blu-rays.
I got an external CD burner that I hook up
crazy.
to my computer to make for my 2004 Civic that
Hell
I
yeah.
drive with CDs. Baby,
License plate number 6.
I got the
lights are on.
I got the flip down visor CD wallet with like
Hell
6
yeah.
CDs or whatever in it.
So what's 1?
A one
sister?
is like I f***ing hate this and I don't know who the hell even like signed off on this.
What's a 5?
That's like ICP and stuff. 5 is like
ICP is fine. You should take that back.
are you serious right now?
ICP is okay. There's a lot of good songs about murdering people.
Okay,
There's some anger in Jamie's eyes after I said 1.
Jamie, I'll give you this. There's a couple tracks that I'm like actually
Magnets,
fond
how
of.
do they work?
Yeah,
See, that's a good joke
like Chicken
song.
and what's the date show song,
Yeah,
whatever. That one's fun. I'll give you that.
There's so many songs about murdering people that are fine on
But like
ICP.
90% of ICP is complete trash.
Sure.
Okay, so there we go. ICP is like a 5.
It's a 5.
Yeah.
So Insane Clown Posse is a
It
5.
was only 1
and you give
point under
Lianne La Havas a 6.
My problem with Lianne La Havas
whoop.
and this album specifically is that I thought about it, and every time I was listening to it, I was like, if I was in a record store and I was in the soul section or lounge section or like whatever, I would pick other artists over this one every single time, partly because I don't have those records yet. Like I don't have, even though I like Erykah Badu, I don't have any of her records. I love Aretha Franklin. I don't have any Aretha Franklin. Which one do you have?
I forget. I can't remember.
Okay, sure, yeah.
I'll have
But I just every time I listen to this, I'm like, she's good, she's talented. I don't deny any of that, but I'm not pulled in.
You don't want this face? Just in
She's
your record
pretty.
collection?
She's cute. I'm not gonna lie. I
You're
don't-
calling your girlfriend. That was a trap.
She could
Hey,
get it.
my girlfriend's a 10 out of 10. I'm not.
Oh.
gonna-
Agreed. Just-
I've never
Hey.
I'm sorry, my girlfriend.
I've never actually met Plouffe's girlfriend. She could be like a sock puppet right now. I have no idea.
She's very real.
I'm
I swear
sure
to
she-
God,
I'm
she's
sure
real,
she's very
Jamie.
real.
She's real. Stop saying she's not
define
real.
a 10 in looks right now.
Oh God.
Plouffe is in the holodeck every night with his girlfriend.
But this is like, even if I had if I had this record in my own collection, I just honestly don't think I'd play it that much. I think I'd play other albums that I own first. It's not bad. I think it's better than ICP. You know, I'm not saying that like
you went
ICP
from
is
them
more
being
like
a
a
1
4.
to a 5
ICP is
very
more like a
quickly.
4 or a 3. I'm changing my mind a little bit here.
Yeah, you went
Okay.
from 1 to 5
Yeah,
to
yeah.
3.
Okay, so the perfect album is of course Paul's Boutique.
I mean, Paul's Boutique is pretty good, but that's not my favorite.
Really?
I'm like, I like the Beastie Boys and I love Paul's Boutique, but my friends are bigger fans than I am. You know what I mean? So I grew up listening to them, but I was never like, oh yeah, Beastie
Plus,
Boys.
Hello Nasty's better.
Oh, Hello Nasty's a great album.
Hello Nasty's good, but Paul's Boutique is
Paul's
it's different.
Paul's Boutique is
Yeah.
a very different sounding album.
Yeah.
I will pick it one day and we can talk about it
It
together.
is very different. Hey, do you have it? I have it.
We both have it.
Hell yeah!
I would love to do Beastie Boys because I've only listened to Hello Nasty and I love
Oh,
it.
Okay.
I have both Paul's Boutique and Ill Communication on.
don't have communicate. That's a good one too.
They're
so
hard
good.
to find again. I've been
I
trying
know,
to get Hello
dude.
Nasty because I love it.
Even
and I
my
can't
Paul's
find it.
Boutique was expensive. It was like
I paid
$45 or
$40
something.
for it.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was crazy.
It's a quad gatefold though, but there's
It
only
is.
one
That's cool.
LP
It is
because
nice. It is a nice
the
record.
inside of the gatefold is a panoramic picture.
Yeah, it is
really
a very nice record. I don't know. I like it, and like I don't have anything against it. I think it's great. If someone put it on the background, I'd be happy to listen to it. But it didn't stand out to me. That's my big thing, I guess. Is like I like other singers more, pretty much. But I thought it was good. It's just not necessarily for me.
What do you think, listener? What do you think about Jamie's next pick for next week?
What's your next pick, Jamie?
Oh, my next pick. Oh, he put me on the spot. It's Rod Stewart's Every Picture Tells a Story.
Another
listened.
classic rock album.
It's an
Wow.
album.
He's really leaving his comfort zone on this one.
Okay, hold on.
It's a little older though. It's from like the 70s, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't everything he's
it's,
chosen
it's,
from the 70s?
No.
it's from the same year.
Maybe.
It's from the same year as Crime of the Century.
Oh, okay, cool.
But it's
So
a very,
yes, everything he's
it's
chosen.
a very different album than Crime of the Century. And I'll be
is.
honest, I'll leave this little spoiler for the next episode.
Whoa.
It's not my favorite Rod Stewart album.
Wow. Why'd you? Okay, we'll get into that later. You got to listen to the next episode.
I've never listened to it before, Rod Stewart before, so I'm excited.
Yeah.
We're gonna give it a try.
Have a great time.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks for everyone for listening.
Last word.